What's up, guys? It's McNulty here, and we are back with part 3 of the Alliance Quest Summon, the challenge of, or the Clash of Knights. Sorry. And hopefully, I'm going to do these 5 stars justice because, yeah, it's been quite a lot to talk about these other heroes. I do honestly love pretty much all of these 5-star heroes, so it's gonna be difficult, but I'll go over them briefly just in case you did pull one of them and you're wondering, damn, what does this one do, or where do I use them? So let's start with Rain. Rain is a dark hero of the fighter class, and if you've ever had a look at any of my videos before, you'll know that I love the fighter class. I think it is the best class in the game because the fighter heroes do have that chance to revive. So I do already like that she's of the fighter class. Rain is in the Raven family. The Raven family gets a bonus for 2 or 3 heroes, 35 or 50% chance to make a cast ailment uncleansable, and she gets perks in the Clash of Knights quest. Now, Rain's stats: 815 attack, 780 defense, and 1384 health. So she does have a slightly lower defensive stat and health stat than some of the heroes that we're seeing released at the moment, but a really good attack stat. Now, moving on to her special. The special skill is Plague Blade, and Rain deals 400% damage to the target, which is a decent hit. The target then receives 1,300 poison damage over 5 turns. Yes, I read that correctly. 1,300 poison damage over 5 turns with a chance to be uncleansable. This effect then spreads to the nearby enemies, and I love this special. It is brilliant. A lot of people that I see that we're going up against in the Alliance Wars have been using Rain as a tank, and because she's in the fighter class and because that damage goes and spreads to the nearby enemies, it can be something that is so difficult to deal with, and potentially if you pair her up with another hero that's in this family, or maybe 2 heroes that are in this family, you can get that to up to a 50% chance for that to become uncleansable. So Rain is definitely a trophy. I think she is best suited to the tank position in wars, in defense. But on offense, you can have some fun with her, play around, put her with whoever you'd like to. And she is going to complement a lot of other heroes well. We have had a few heroes come out recently where they increase the length of status ailments, like Matilda is one that comes to mind immediately, but I think that there was a 4-star as well, if I'm not mistaken, that increases or extends the length of status ailments. And even I think from the Atlantis family, where they're extending the status ailment. So it'd be interesting to see how heroes like that complement Rain. Anyone that's going to boost the effect of a status ailment, I think Matilda would be absolutely brilliant, because she should increase that 1,300 by 50%. So if you put the 2 of them together, it's going to be carnage for sure. Okay, so that is Rain. Now, moving on, we have Esme, the Fiend Slayer. So Esme is of the Sorcerer class. Sorcerer class is a pretty good class. I think that's the delay talent, which is a pretty good talent. She's of the Wolf family, so she's got the chance to make any cast buff undispellable. And moving to her stats: 762 attack, 780 defense, and 1477 health. Pretty balanced all round, pretty decent health stats, so she is going to be survivable. And her special skill is Fiend Slayer, so we can see that she's already going to be focused on those fiends. She is at average speed. At average speed, she destroys all fiends from all allies. Brilliant. All fiends are gone. Then she boosts the health of all allies by 650. That's a big boost at average speed, and the boosted health can exceed the max HP. Now, if an ally had fiends, they'll be immune to new fiends for 4 turns. So this hero I do like a lot, just because there's no, what's the word I'm looking for, no bells and whistles. She's all about what she does, and she just does those two things well. She destroys all the fiends and she boosts health. That's it. And just as an added bonus, if an ally had fiends, they're immune to new fiends for 4 turns. So Esme, absolute trophy. Do not face this chick if you are relying on fiends, because she will punish you. And the boosted health is excellent, because we do have some heroes who reduce health. Boosted health can counter health reduction. So someone like Horus, for example, if he hits, she's going to boost the health, and if you didn't know, the boosted health is just going to counteract that max health reduction, where a regular heal will not counter that. So definitely a good idea to put her in that sort of a team. So that is Esme. Again, another excellent hero from this event. Right, who do we have next? Wolfgang. Now, Wolfgang's an interesting one. Wolfgang is also a fighter class hero. Again, really good class. Obviously, we've been over that with Rain already, so I don't need to go over that again. Won't go over the family bonus again. But his special... Oh, well, sorry. Let's look at his stats first. So 768 on attack, 784 defense, and 1450 health. So he's pretty beefy. He's defensively built. You can see he's got that massive armor on. So he's seen a few battles, this guy, for sure. I mean, look at him. He's seen some stuff. His special skill is Commander's Gauntlet. Now he deals 250 damage to all enemies at average speed, which is good. He then reduces all received damage just for the caster by 50% for 4 turns. So once he's damaged, once he's hit, he becomes more difficult to kill. Then after 4 turns, he boosts the health of all allies by 600, and boosted health can exceed max HP. Now if you look at the one that we just looked at, Esme, where I said that she just has no bells and whistles, Wolfgang is the opposite. He needs everything to work well for this special to be as impactful as it should be. So what I mean by that is, when you face him, he deals that damage up front to all enemies, which is okay. 250 damage is alright. But we've got other damage dealers that are much higher, with a higher attack stat. And then he reduces the damage he's taking for 4 turns. But that's where things become a bit odd, because the reason he's reducing the damage is so that he can get that third part of his special skill off. But if you either kill him or dispel that effect from him within 4 turns, which is quite a long time, then the boosted health doesn't apply. So Esme, obviously boosting the health straight away, is great. Wolfgang, having that 4 turn delay between the time his special goes off and the boosted health applying, not so great. So he is still a good hero. I would say he is definitely usable. Don't be upset if you pulled him. I'm not saying he's bad in any way, shape or form, but I'm just saying that he could be so much better. And that's all I'll say on the matter, because yeah, I don't want to slate him too much, or Wolfgang. So yeah, Wolfgang is done. Who's next? Aha, this one. Lewena. I love Lewena. I think that she's probably the newest, if I'm not mistaken, out of the Clash of Knights family. And yeah, she came along at just the right time. So, she is of the Ranger class, which means that she has a chance to bypass. I love that, especially for damage dealers. It is a great talent. And she is of the Raven family, so she has that chance for a cast ailment to become undispellable. Or uncleansable. Sorry, it's a bit weird when we're going through the Ravens and the Wolves and going back and forth. Sorry, I think we'll get there in the end. So, her stats. So she's newer. You can see her power's a bit higher. The stats are a bit higher, and the power creep's obviously in effect here. So, attack stat 795, brilliant, nearly 800. Defense stat also nearly 800, 799. And health HP, she's at 1400. So I like those stats. I think she's beefy, and I think she's definitely survivable. Now, her special skill, first glance, it doesn't look like much. And it's only 2 lines, isn't it? So again, I love this because let's just read it. So she's at fast speed, which is great. The special skill, first of all, she blocks the talent skill activation for all enemies for 6 turns. So talent skills are blocked. So the skills that to any attacking team, for me especially, the ones that I find the most frustrating is that dodge. And if you've got and I think Costume Lacey is probably the most the one that I'm just thinking of off the top of my head, but because she's blue and Lewena's red. But if you've got 2 Costume Lacey's that you're facing on the team, fire off Lewena at fast speed and they cannot dodge for the next 6 turns. So it just takes away that effect, which is part of the reason why whoever set up that defense team has put them there. And I love that effect. And then, as an added bonus, she deals 260 damage to all enemies. With an 800 attack stat, that's going to be quite a bit of damage. So Lewena, absolutely great hero. And she does fit just perfectly. So if you did pull her, congratulations, guys. Right. Next one is Eloise. Wow, we've got quite a few to go over, so I'll go quick. So Eloise is of the wizard class, which is I can't even remember what the wizard class does now. Damn, I'd have to look this up afterwards. Sorry, guys. So wizard class, she has an 803 attack stat, 793 defense, and 1390 on health. So very similar stats to the one that we've just looked at in Lewena. Her special skill is Ravaging Talons. Now, she destroys all minions from all enemies. I'm already loving that. Then she deals 270 damage to all enemies. And if an enemy had minions, they're immune to new minions for 4 turns. So she seems almost like the opposite of what Lewena is. I mean, sorry, not Lewena. So she's doing it against minions rather than fiends. So maybe what this blue chickie Esme was. But then she also works in the same way as Lewena does, where she blocks something and then she deals that damage to all enemies. So she destroys all minions, she deals the damage, and if an enemy had a minion, they're immune to new minions. So yeah, more like Esme. She is at average speed, and that special is going to be absolutely brilliant, especially for the defenses that we're seeing at the top tier from the War of Three Kingdoms families. where they've got just minions upon minions, and the effects are linked to the minions. You know, Holder is another one, for example, from the Underwild, where the effects link to the minion. It becomes that much more difficult when you're on offense. So if Eloise is coming into battle with you, she's definitely going to be invaluable for neutralizing those threats. So yeah, Eloise, great hero. Right. Quenell is probably one of my favorites, and probably just because I've got her and I took her at the Soul Exchange, at the last Soul Exchange, and she is just absolute beast mode. She is of the Ranger class, so she has that chance to bypass. And her special skill, well, let's just do stats real quick. So 795 attack, 760 defense, 1433 health. She is as beefy as you like. Her special's called Howling Sword. It is at fast speed, and she deals 320% damage to the target and nearby. So the same amount of damage to both the target and nearby. 320 damage is quite a hard hit at 795 attack. But then something strange happens. Quenell gets an additional 40% power for the next special skill they cast. But the additional power increases by 40% each turn, up to a maximum of 200% damage in total. So it takes a couple of turns to get this up and running. I mean, my math is going to be way off now, but it's 40. It's about 4 turns to get to cast the next special skill until you get that 200% damage. But after you cast the first skill, if you were to cast one the turn after that, it would already have the increase of 40%. So yeah, it's 360. So 140. Yeah, I think it's 3 turns, maybe 4 turns. Correct me if I'm wrong, and help me with the maths if you can. But either way, if you wait until that 200% kicks in, the next time that you hit, she's basically going to be hitting 3 targets at a 640% snipe for 3 targets. So yeah, she's just beast mode. Honestly, when you get Quenell going, you better get rid of her fast, because if you leave her until she fires off that next special, it's going to be game over. And she has got that chance to bypass as well. So yeah, Quenell, absolutely excellent hero, and you'd be doing well if you got her. I've got her and I love her, and yeah, maxed her. She's brilliant. Now, second to last hero, I think, this one. So we've got Quitin here. He is of the rogue class, great class, dodges, as we know. I won't go over the family bonus. His stats, wow. Attack stat of 821. Defense a little bit lower, 766. And the HP of 1396. So you can see he's definitely an attacking hero. His special is at fast speed, and it's called Echoes of Pain. I do love the animation on his special. I don't have him, but when you're facing him, I love that animation. So many people say it's frustrating because it just takes so long. I've seen a few posts about it, but it does look cool. So he deals 420% damage to the target, and the target that he hits receives 100% damage for all the damage their allies receive for 4 turns. Now, this guy is just all about the damage. He's all about the damage. I mean, the 420% damage is still a hard hit, but then on top of that, all other damage that the team that you have, all other damage that your allies are dealt for the next 4 turns, that person gets an extra 100% damage. So he is a great hero. He's got a really hard hit. He does focus most of his energy on just one hero, so if there is a downside to Quentin, I'd say that's it. But overall, that snipe is hard. His attack stat is high, and you'd be doing well if you did level him. You will not be disappointed, I guarantee it. Right, that's Quentin. Now, here's my man, Ludwig. Oh man, what can we say about Ludwig? He is an amazing hero. I mean, he was the first hero that I pulled from this portal, the first 5-star at least. And when I leveled him, everything changed. I mean, the game changed, the way I looked at the game changed. And he just, I mean, he almost felt broken, to be fair, because he's so good. But there are, we found ways to work around him, but he's still an absolute monster. So Ludwig is of the paladin class, so it does fit with what he does, which we'll get to in a second. His attack stat is abysmal, but he's not an attacker, so even though he's got that massive hammer, so you'd think that he could do some damage with that thing, his attack stat sucks. His defense is great, 844 defense, and he's got some health as well, 1442. Now those stats when he came out would have been super high, and he hasn't been out for that long, but just now you can see the amount of increased power that the new heroes are getting. So 1442 HP. His special skill is Full Metal Pelt, and it is at slow speed, so I guess that's the only thing he's got going against him. The caster gets Taunt, and Taunt prevents enemies from using special skills on the caster's allies for 6 turns. 6 turns. Yeah, I read that correctly. 6-turn Taunt. That's just, it's mental, it's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, when you read it over again, even, and he's been in the game for so long like this, like it still shocks you. The caster gets plus 84 defense against special skills for 6 turns. Now, I mean, Kara is the hero of the month that's really popular, who gets Taunt. Her increased defense is what, 74, 75, something like that. And for 4 turns, he gets 84% defense increase. Then, the nearby allies get mana every turn for 6 turns, and the received mana increases each turn until the last turn when 100% mana is received. So this effect is where I said when I received him, it just felt like absolute cheat mode, like I just, won the lottery of Empires and Puzzles, because he does increase that mana, and it doesn't matter whether you fire off the specials 3, 4, 5 times during those 6 turns, how many tiles you get, he still provides that increase after every single turn. And just as a little bonus, if you use this with any hero from the Underwild family that extends, or any hero from any family really, I don't know if there are others, but I know the Underwild has quite a few, they extend the buff duration by a turn, then his buff actually goes on for 7 turns rather than 6 turns. Which was something that I found out quite by accident when I put Spider Guy, what's his name, man? Zakina. Yeah, when I put Zakina next to Ludwig, and then I was like, well, hang on, the other person that has the effect doesn't have the effect anymore. He's not increasing mana, but Zakina is still getting an increased mana generation. Why is that? And yeah, it's just because of that extended buff. So the extended buff does work with that as well. So yeah, Ludwig is, I mean, he's to me still probably, yeah, I'm gonna say it, I think he's still the best hero from this portal. If you were just going to pull one, I'd want him. Still, you know, even with the slightly newer ones that are in here as well. So that's it. And we made it. We went over all of the 5-star heroes in the portal, all of the heroes in the portal. Wow. So I wish you guys all of the best if you are summoning in this portal. I hope that you get some of these great heroes. They do work really well in teams. They're great team players, except maybe her. And yeah, I wish you all of the best in your summons. Have fun, guys. Enjoy playing the game. Enjoy your friendships. Enjoy, you know, the competition. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.